So the Brandon Staley era is over in LA, but the DFS Deli era is just beginning. It is time for the Week 15 final look and Contrarian show here on a late Saturday night. So put the Saturday slate behind you, put all those player injuries behind you, and the fact that I'm sure you bench T. Higgins and Jordan Addison just like the two hosts of this show. But other than that, welcome into the Deli. Let's go. Welcome into the DFS Deli. I, of course, am the proprietor of this delicatessen, Sully Ali Shahid, and joined on a Saturday night amongst the Colts dismantling of the Steelers and a thriller earlier in the day between the Vikings and Bengals and the Lions yet to play. It is time to talk about our almost final decisions because there's some injury news we're waiting on and some other decisions that we have to make early Sunday morning. But as far as the Saturday goes, I think we have a good idea of where we're going to be headed on this slate. It is an interesting one, very, very chalky. And for most of the DFS players out there, it may not start until the late window. So here to break it all down with me, of course, is my main man, Chill. Chill, what's going on a Saturday night, brother?
Just spent the better part of the day watching some football. The Minnesota and Cincinnati game was good. Well, fortunately, like even if you didn't play Jordan Addison, you're still okay for the contest I'm in. He was only like 4% owned, 5% owned. So luckily, he can't put you to sleep. If you didn't play Tyson Chandler, you have a little bit of a climb, but because he was pretty popular today. So we'll see. We'll see what goes down on that. I did a free trial to SaberSim. So I threw 150 lineups in the quarter contest
For the Saturday slate or the Sunday slate?
For Saturday.
Oh, nice.
It's making money back right now? Question mark. So I think it was like it was 150 entries at a quarter, which I think is like 33.50 or 33.75. And
yeah, it
cost
you over a little $30. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like making like 34, so I'm up like 50 cents. So I'm like, for a free trial on something I have no idea how to use, fuck it.
Hey man, you might just become the next MME, superstar. So I mean, you never know. It starts with dimes and quarters. Make your way up to the Millie Maker. Chill. You could be a Millie Maker winner in the making right now. You could,
bro. My bankroll would need my bankroll and stones would need to increase dramatically on that.
Well, that's what we're here to do, Chill. We're here to increase the bankroll for the listeners and the viewers, of course, out there on the YouTubes. And if you haven't done already, make sure you hit that like and subscribe before you leave. Just doing us a favor. It helps us with the algorithm and all the degenerates that are still left playing DFS. Again, like I mentioned on Wednesday, this is kind of like that lull period where people are either in their yearly ones or they're just now like getting eliminated from their yearly playoffs and they're kind of want to dabble in something else because they still got money to burn. And we want to satisfy that DFS itch. So that's what we're here to do, is break it down on a late Saturday night to get into the Week 15 main slate. Again, we're only talking about the main slate, nothing for today on this Saturday, nothing on the Monday game. Apparently the Eagles secondary, by the way, that Monday game, no Darius Slay, he's been ruled out. So for a secondary that was already completely terrible, they've just lost another piece. So if you still got Drew Lock or Geno Smith in your yearly plans, I mean, you could do worse. You could do worse. So that should be an interesting one.
I mean, huge shout out to anybody that or maybe just a huge disappointment to anybody who went up against any Raider on the Thursday slate.
Sorry, Nate. I played the Raiders defense.
I mean,
he's making up for the Zach Moss injury right now. But
I mean, if you went up against somebody who started AOC, I had to play Jacoby Myers because Christian Kirk was out, so I got lucky there. I mean, Devontae Adams, they got him to over 100 yards because they were still passing up by 42.
Because they wanted to set that record. That's what they were shooting for. They wanted that scoring record. Period.
Even White. I don't know if White got a touchdown or not.
Yeah,
In
Zamir
Tony.
scored the first touchdown for the Raiders.
Okay. Listen, there were so many of them.
Yeah, two defensive. Brandon Bolden is still in the NFL. Did
Uh,
not know.
that Tucker. I think that Tucker guy caught two, right?
Yeah, Trey Tucker. Yeah,
Yeah. Like, could you imagine if you're in like a 14 team league and you played Trey Tucker? That's gonna be terrifying.
that's
Um,
heartbreaking. Hey, did you see that? Hunter Renfro didn't get a catch.
bro, what is he not Peyton Hillis?
Oh, just a 1 year wonder.
Yeah.
Without question.
I
Not
mean,
to that extent because you won't see Hunter Renfro on any Madden covers, but I see what you're saying. I know what you mean.
literally just one of the biggest one hit wonders that I can remember in recent memory.
Yeah, I remember just playing him every week in DFS, knowing that he was going to hit. He was
He was
Eric
catching
Decker.
at least seven. He's catching at least 7 balls.
He was Eric Decker. That's all he was. He was the modern day Eric Decker, and it was amazing.
And his price never went up.
No, that was Eric Decker. It was literally play this guy every week in cash, maybe sprinkle him in a tournament or so. His price never ever went up, and it was amazing. So, but that's neither here nor there. I don't think we have any guys like that anymore. I mean, it used to be like at quarterback, it was Brock Purdy. Like his price never went up. And I mean, it still really hasn't matched his production on DraftKings. FanDuel ain't playing that shit no more.
No, they stopped that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't blame them. I do not blame them. So as far as a look at the slate, Chill, and you kind of alluded to it when we were talking a little bit off air, this is probably one of the chalkiest slates I've seen in a long time. I mean, there's some high ownership. Like, what could Matt Stafford and Zeke chalk? You know, where has that ever gone wrong? So I'm not really I'm excited because like obviously the matchups are there. Matt Stafford has the nut matchup. Zeke is Zeke, I guess, but like wow, this is going to be a very interesting pivot slate, and I think there are some places we can go to. So I'm ready to break it down, man. I'm ready to dive on in.
It's not gonna take a lot to get different on this slate, and
Correct.
you could still feel pretty comfortable about it too.
Absolutely. So let's get into it, man. Quarterback position. Let's go ahead and start with the chalk, of course. And it kind of surprised me because I'm going to go based off. Based off FanDuel. I know you can bring up some DraftKings numbers for me, so we can kind of meet in the middle.
Yeah, I could pull up DK. I have DK. I have them both up. So
sweet. So I got Josh Allen leading the way, and he's the most expensive quarterback on the slate, followed by Matt Stafford, of course, the kind of cheaper option. But again, like we said, he has the nut matchup, and surprisingly, Sam Howell.
So on per ETR on FanDuel, Purdy and Sam Howell are the same ownership. So you're still right.
I mean, I can get the Jordan Love thing to a certain extent, but because he's going against Tampa, another nut matchup. But like, I mean, I love Josh Allen. I mean, Josh Allen could smack the living crap out of anybody. But I like playing my Josh Allen at 10% or less. I don't know if I want to go and play a chalky Josh Allen. I that's my homie. That's my man's. I will vindicate Josh Allen any day of the week. But as chalk, I'm kind of scared, man. I might go to the other side of this because we can get into it right now. Not enough people are playing Dak Prescott on the other side.
That was the first name I was going to bring up. Not to mention the Bills are without AJ Esperanza. And Micah Hyde is out. So they're missing even more people on their defense. Again, and it's Epinenza, my apologies. But they're missing him, who's arguably their best pass rusher. They're missing Micah Hyde. They're still missing defensive tackle. I mean, obviously Trey Davis is out. Like, who's left? And like, I get it. And I get it. Like, if people want to play the narrative that the Cowboys are going on the road and this isn't the same team, I get it. But like, I don't see any weather issues right now that's going to go on in Buffalo. And
It was supposed to be a little rainy and windy, but we already saw what Josh Allen did in rainy and windy conditions. So as long
Right,
as the Vegas total doesn't move, I don't give a shit about weather. So
right.
just
I
in
mean,
that narrative.
I couldn't agree with you 100% more that if instead of just playing Josh Allen, just play Dak. Just
Yeah,
play
so
him.
there's two pivots to that, right? So you can go Dak on the other side and stack up his pass catchers, or I mean, along with doing that, you could just play the Bills' run game because
You
no one
could.
wants to play James Cook. James Cook, again, the RB2 last week. If he's going to be more involved in these short passing plays, if he's going to actually get rushing equity, instead of Josh Allen punching these in, it could be James Cook, or it could be one of the other slew of running backs that they use. So Josh Allen could end up with like a pedestrian type of day, a ho hum 20-point day, and you're fine. And he automatically costs you being the most expensive quarterback on the slate. So I'm not trying to take people off of Josh Allen. I'm just saying that like there's pivots right there, built in, caked into Josh Allen's ownership. You can go
Right.
Dak or you can go James Cook on the exact same team, or you can stack them up funky. So if you're gonna go Josh Allen, I guess you could bring along Steph Diggs and Game Davis or Dalton Kincaid, or to a lesser extent, now that Dawson Knox is back, Khalil Shakur. But like, if you're gonna play Josh Allen, you got to do it unique. You have to do it somehow differently than everybody else.
I mean, and I think a lot of the Josh Allen builds are going to relatively be the same. Like if people are playing Josh Allen, Zeke is probably in that lineup.
Yep, without question.
I think a lot of those builds are going to kind of be the same. When you can just do the same build and use Dak for cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
You may have to pay up a little bit more for CD Lamb, but again, like this Bills defense is pretty hurt. Like, and this is the highest total game on the slate. Obviously, we always play. People always come up with the narratives. You have the like Jared Goff narrative, the Cowboys narrative. Um, but again, here, like the Cowboys' offense is probably one of the most on fire offenses right now, currently in the NFL. So I think Dak is totally worth a look here, for sure. Again, like you said, like we're not trying to tell you to not play Josh Allen, but just know that those builds are going to look very similar.
Yeah,
Um,
then you got to get funky somewhere else. Like if you're paying up all the way up for Josh Allen, that eliminates Kyron Williams or CMC. I mean, you could probably jam in one, but you can't do both.
no, you
So
def
again, you're still following chalk regardless of where it is. But there's other places to get funky. I know we want a part of this San Francisco offense. I know we want a part of this Rams offense. But like you're allocating a lot of your salary to that game. So if you're going to be in that game, that's probably where it ends. I mean, you might get one or two players, but you're not going to get a Ram and a 49er and Josh Allen and a Dallas run back and Steph Diggs or Gabe Davis and Dalton
not
Kincaid. It's not going to happen.
not a
So
chance. Um,
you got to pick and choose your battles here.
yeah, and so the DK ownership goes your top. I'll go top five here. So it's Stafford, Purdy, Allen, Howell, Jordan Love, and then it goes to Dak Prescott at about 4.5%.
See, that's perfectly serviceable. 5% Dak Prescott. Yeah, you can sign me up for that if you'd like. I'm definitely okay with that. And
Yeah,
again, you could do it in unique ways. Like you don't necessarily have to tackle on CeeDee Lamb if you want to go alpha somewhere else. So I mean, I'm totally fine with Jake the Snake, like I mentioned on Wednesday. One of my favorite tight end plays on the board. Brandon Cooks to a lesser extent. I think he's sick. I think the whole receiver room was sick or something like that, but I think he's more than likely to play. If not, you get a cheap Michael Gallup to go along with it, or Jalen Tolbert, guys like that to make it
yeah.
unique. So there's definitely ways to maneuver around this. A couple quarterbacks I want to mention because I was very surprised at the Sam Howell thing. So I'm definitely off not playing Sam Howell. That ain't gonna freaking happen. So, but one guy I do want to play is the opposite of a high scoring team and game environment. Don't jump off the call. Okay. Just don't do it when I say this man's name. All right. You promise? We're friends. We're
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't
Good.
judge.
Excellent. I appreciate that. Um, can I interest you in Kyler Murray this week?
Actually, like I know San Francisco struggles with mobile quarterbacks. At least they have in the past. Um, I don't hate the Kyler Murray take. You figure they're going to be in a really good game script for him to put up numbers. Um, again, you don't have to double stack him. Obviously, with his rushing upside. So, I mean, if you want to go Kyler, Arizona pass catcher, I mean, you could even pick one of the cheap ones. I mean, they're all probably still pretty cheap. And then you want to, put in McCaffrey or you want to put in two 49ers pass catchers in there. You could do that, and that just automatically makes you different. So, honestly, no, I don't mind it. I don't mind that call uh, at all. I
See,
guess
here's what you could do with Kyler Murray, right? So he's the direct price pivot off of Matt Stafford. He's right next to him. And then there's no other mobile quarterbacks on the slate minus Josh Allen. So if he can offer you anything with a rushing floor with his legs, well, excuse me, my bad. I didn't mean to disrespect Tommy DeVito. He has a rushing floor as well. But minus him and Josh Allen, there's no other quarterback that's gonna provide you a rushing floor allegedly. I mean, he only rushed for 2 yards his last start, but they are coming off the bye. They get Michael Wilson back. So it's like, I think this game environment, like you said, could probably be in a negative game script all day if we expect any pushback. Kyler Murray has, I think, that offense in itself has 2.5 more expected points over the season at home than on the road. So they are at home in this matchup as well. And they get Michael Wilson back, allegedly. And he said he should be back to his old self. So last time these teams met, he scored twice on them. So, I mean, it's a game script where I could see if you want to get away from, Brock Purdy, Josh Allen, and Sam Howell. I'm not doing that. Then I think Kyler Murray is a good way to go, especially in the late window if you got to swap. So if you take some stabs early and you got like a Josh Allen left, but your early ones didn't hit, hey man, Kyler Murray is sitting right there. He saves you some salary and you can tack on cheap pass catchers. Like Trey McBride is always going to be chalk, but you know what doesn't make him chalky? If he's riding alongside Kyler Murray. So those
right.
stacks are automatically unique. So you go Kyler Murray, Trey McBride, and Michael Wilson. That stack in itself is cheap. So I agree with you. You can probably run a double run back with 49ers in that case. You can run Debo and CMC. You can run CMC and Ayuk. You can run Ayuk and Debo if you want. Just saying that if this game has a chance to shoot out, and then kind of pick your pieces from the other games that you want a part of. So I like I said, in those type of stacks, I like bringing along like a James Cook to get in the Buffalo game in a unique way. And then, kind of configuring from that if you still are like, you're scared of the PTSD that you might miss out on this Bills game. So I get it 100%. But again, I think Kyler is a very unique way to get into the late window and have a cheap stack and be able to afford, the CMCs, the Kyrens, the Cooper Cups of the world, if you want to tack on to that stack. I just don't. Please, for the love of God, for anybody listening, don't do the Sam Howell thing. Just don't. Please. Just do the Kyler Murray thing with me, and you'll be fine. I'm just saying.
Well, so the only other quarterback, Justin Fields, I mean, is going up against the Browns. Again, not the sexiest play, but that would be the only other gentleman with the rushing floor, quote
The
unquote.
Browns are so banged up, though. Every time I look up, someone else is hitting the IR. I mean, you got a free agent safety out there with trying to contain Justin Fields and Cole Kmet and DJ Moore to a lesser extent. I get it. If this game was in Chicago, I would be less trepidatious about playing Justin Fields because I
So
like the play in totality. I just don't.
so
There's
this
something about the Browns at home. I just don't know what it is.
so this may be the only time I say this, but like, if you want to run naked Justin Fields in this game, I don't think it's a bad idea. And like, I
Hey
don't
man,
recommend.
naked Brock Purdy takes down shit all the time. So I
And
mean,
like,
why
I
not a
don't.
naked
And
mobile
like,
quarterback?
again, I don't recommend running a quarterback naked. Like, I really don't. I really don't see the upside in that. But like,
Agreed.
I could kind of see it here. Um, if you just want to if you want to run Justin Fields out there, let's say he throws for 200 yards, rushes for 80 and a touchdown or two, like, and then you don't have to drag one of the pass catchers with him. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I could see it. So, I mean, I won't stay too long on this take because I already mentioned it a ton on Wednesday. But Pat Mahomes is coming in with no ownership.
Maybe on DraftKings on FanDuel, that boy's owned, according to my
He's
numbers.
he's not as owned as the top four. So he's less
Oh
than
yeah, sure,
10%.
yeah,
He's less
yeah.
than 10%.
Yeah. Anything under 10%, we consider contrarian for sure. I'm with you.
So on DraftKings, he's at a laughable 2.3.
Yeah, I can see it more on DraftKings. Absolutely. Like I said, I already
So
went on my KC rant on Wednesday. If you haven't checked out that show, go ahead and listen to that one before you listen to this one. But yeah, for your sake, I want it to happen. But for what I've been seeing for the first 14 weeks of the season, I just don't see it happening.
agree, but like they're gonna come out and beat up somebody, and I just hope it's this game.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Other than that, there's no other quarterbacks I'm really interested in. I mean, this is a tough slate. I mean, like I said, the
Uh,
rushing floor of Tommy DeVito,
yeah, I'd
but
say
I don't see the necessarily upside.
for me, it would probably be DeVito, um, and it would be DeVito to jam in other players with upside. Like if I'm playing DeVito, I'm gonna play him with a 3K crapper essentially, and
Well,
then
one of those 3K crappers is going to be heavily owned.
well,
So
we'll cross
again,
that
you want to
bridge.
get unique. You want to get
We'll,
unique. Bring along Tommy DeVito.
yeah, we'll get that. We'll cross that bridge when we do. But like, if you're playing Tommy DeVito, you're hoping for like 50 yards and a rushing touchdown.
Yeah,
Like, and then
absolutely.
and then that way, like, if he scores you 20, you're okay.
Oh man, you're more than okay. Tommy DeVito dropped 20 DK points. Oh, you're more than okay.
So, I mean, it's possible. They're in New Orleans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, you don't got weather. Let's not act like this New Orleans defense is a lot to write home about. So, Giants are hot. So,
Hey man, spoiler alert, baby. I'm taking the Giants tomorrow. I'm taking that money line.
so again, that would probably be the only guy here. I could probably say with confidence I'm not playing Stafford tomorrow. Um, so I think I could say that with the pretty much utmost confidence.
I
I,
respect
I
that.
I don't see the reason for playing a guy who can even get 303 and still like be like 20 points. Like,
Yeah, be like, okay, right?
yeah,
For some reason, his 303 does not calculate the same as someone else's 303.
no. So
For some reason. I
say that.
agree with you. I agree with you. Like I said, for my short list, I still want to play Josh Allen, but again, if this ownership is going to be out of control, I might consider fading. I'll probably decide that in the 4 o'clock window, if I got a late swap. But like I said, Josh Allen, Kyler, Stafford to a lesser extent, and if I'm feeling really, really frisky, Tommy DeVito. That's
I,
my short list. So
I like it.
let's slide over to running back real quick. And a lot of the chalkier pieces I can get behind. So like Antonio Gibson with no Brian Robinson, I completely understand. You probably makes a better DraftKings play than he does a FanDuel play, only because the Sam Howell has a propensity to dump it off to running backs. I mean, we've seen in games that Sam Howell went off. He doesn't necessarily drag a receiver with him. In some games, he's drug running backs with him. So I kind of get the
Right.
Antonio Gibson thing, and he's super cheap. So 100% agree. CMC, one of the best running back in the NFL. He dropped almost 50 against the Cardinals last time they faced each other. So I can get behind that chalk. Kyron, workhorse, Washington, completely get that. Zeke, I did talk up on Wednesday, but now I'm not playing a 30 some odd percent owned Ezekiel Elliott. It ain't gonna happen. So that's probably the insta fade for me on this slate. So I mean, like, what are we hoping for? Like, what are they, 9.5 point dogs? Something like
Uh,
that.
who? New England?
Yeah, like we're hoping that he gets. Like I said, I'm taking New England to win this game, but I don't know if it's going to be the back of Zeke. I think it's going to be on the not necessarily the arm of Bailey Zappi, but the ineptness of the Kansas City offense to kind of keep this game close enough to the point where it's like, oh shit, can the Patriots actually pull this off? Type of thing. So it's like I get the price, I get the workload of Ezekiel Elliott, but like there's guys in that price range that I feel I can pivot to, which we're going to talk about here in a second, that can give you the same, if not more volume at way less ownership than Ezekiel Elliott.
It's
So,
it's a 8 point. It's a 8 point spread.
okay, 8 points. Still, we're talking about a guy that's an 8 point over a touchdown dog, and he's going to be the highest owned running back on the slate. That's insta fade for me. I don't know
Um,
how you feel about it.
I mean, I don't like it, but like at the end of the day, if he's in my lineup, what does it get me? Like that, like what player can I drag with Zeke? So like for me, it's gonna be like, what does the build look like? What does what does the build with Zeke look like versus what does the build without Zeke look like? Like, I mean, like I know it's kind of just a cop out answer, but it really depends on what they look like. So like I may have them, I may not. I don't know. I have not yet to try to build lineups. Um, I think I'd rather play Gibson on either site, truthfully. Um, I think I'd rather take Gibson over Zeke. But again, I just got to see what does that look like. A couple of the running backs I was taking a look here that, um, I mean, like I was talking to Baker about this, but like there's a flow chart for running backs.
Oh, we're
Carolina's
talking
on
about
Carolina's on the main
Carolina.
slate.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Yeah.
playing the team that wants to run the ball the most, and they can't stop the run. Like Bijan Robinson is just sitting right there. Bijan Robinson can keep up with Kyron and CMC if depending on depending on the coach.
I don't know about keep up. I mean, remember, CMC faces the Cardinals.
I listen. I get
He
it,
can
but
moonwalk his way to 100 yards tomorrow. He could run backwards at the line and still drop 100 on the Cardinals. So
I
I
get
don't
it.
know.
I get it, but like also since we're getting closer to the playoffs here, like if that beatdown starts to get pretty bad, like they're gonna pull the players because it's coming in the playoff season. Like I don't expect Atlanta to blow out Carolina. And if they blow
I don't expect the 49ers to blow out the Cardinals.
to play Kyler Murray.
It's not just to support my Kyler Murray play. I mean, you got to put up a lot of points for your players to get pulled. So, I mean, I completely understand the logic where you're coming from, but I mean, you
Right.
got to be like, I mean, hell, we saw it on Thursday. The Raiders were up like 90 and they didn't pull their players. I know they suck and they're not a playoff team. I get it. I know what you're going to say,
I
but
mean, they're technically still in the race. They're still technically in the race for the playoffs, but like,
it's true.
but like also like they're starting a rookie quarterback, so it's not like they're gonna pull him. They already had like a year 2 or 3, thing. Like it's not like Jacoby Myers is anything special to get pulled. Michael Mayer's a rookie, so it's like their main offense wasn't nothing to pull anyway.
I mean,
Except Devontae Adams.
Devontae
That was it.
Adams, yeah.
That was it. And as soon as he got over the 100-yard marks, he got pulled.
So listen, so let me go back to the Zeke thing real quick. Okay. And on FanDuel, and this could apply to DraftKings too, because you have the pricing. I don't right now. I could flip between screens, but I'm not going to waste everybody's time. So running backs that I would play instead of Ezekiel Elliott in that price range. So on FanDuel, he's 6,500, so pretty cheap. I would go down $100 to play Jerome Ford at home against Chicago. Yes, Chicago's defense has been severely improved over the past month ever since their acquisitions, but this is still the Browns at home. I mean, this is until his wrist injury last week, he was cooking. I mean, he was doing his damn thing. So I could see another scenario where they get into a run heavy script that Jerome Ford could pay off at this price. James Conner gets all the work, even though he's going against San Francisco. It's fraction of the ownership and cheaper than Zeke. I would rather go up $200 to play Chuba Hubbard. Again, this is a team that rushed for over 200 yards last week, and they were trailing 99.9% of that game. So if anybody wants to establish a run, like you said, Atlanta does, but like go down $2,000 and you got Chuba Hubbard at home, and it's supposed to be shitty weather too. So we're looking at a run-heavy script as well. I'll take Chuba Hubbard. I'd rather find the $700 like we mentioned. James Cook, no ownership whatsoever. I'd rather play any of those guys than Ezekiel Elliott. Chalk Ezekiel Elliott. I'm not doing it. I can't do it. My DFS heart cannot sustain sweating a chalky Ezekiel Elliott. It can't sustain that type of stress, chill. So I would take those 4 guys in the same price range over Ezekiel Elliott 10 times out of 10 on a slate like this. I can't bring myself to do it, bro. I just can't do it.
So on DraftKings, Zeke is 5,800. Um, if you, oh, let me take a look to see who's in that range. You have James Conner, who's $100 less. Chuba's 200. Jerome Ford is 300.
Right, they're all
Uh,
cheaper.
they're
And
all
look,
cheaper.
James Cook is right there. He's the next button click. Look at him.
Yeah, yeah. James
It's only $500 more. Just play
correct.
James Cook.
Even if you wanted to sell me on the idea of playing Brees Hall against my Dolphins,
We'll get to some Jets. We will. We will.
so I get that. Speaking of my Dolphins, again, Raheem Mostert leads the league in rushing touchdowns. He's got no ownership. The Jets' weak point is the run.
This matchup sucks.
Miami's at home.
This matchup sucks.
I could see them, especially with Tyreek kind of being questionable. He's probably going to play, I would assume, but they might want to not pass as much tomorrow.
Right. Is he going to be active or he's going to be active? Like,
right.
That's going to
because
be a big thing.
if you're giving Mike McDaniel a week to prepare without Tyreek, like the offense is going to look a lot better than what it did on Monday. So again, it's a little bit interesting, and not to mention Miami's going to be able to pressure Zach Wilson pretty good here. Miami's defense has been top 5 since Ramsey has come back.
You're talking about chill. You're talking about the AFC offensive player of the week, sir.
I mean, I'm just saying. But I do again, if you want to completely go off the reservation and you want to play one of the Miami running backs at no ownership, it's one of the best offenses in the NFL at home. I can get behind that idea.
Well, let's address the elephant in the room, chill. You're down 6 offensive linemen. 6! You're starting 5 from week 1? The backup center, I do believe? He gone. And they got exploited. This is a blitz-heavy, pressure-ridden Jets defense. I mean, Tua's going to die. So, I mean, he might have to hand it off a ton of times just to keep out of pressure. I don't care if it's at home or not. That offensive line injury woes cannot be ignored. So I'm scared. I'm very scared to play any Dolphin tomorrow. I know that's your squad. Ride with them. But this is a very horrible spot, man.
Hey,
you
man,
can't keep countering these offensive line injuries.
It's that's why we're on the that's why we're on the Contrarian show.
Damn right. That's right. We got to get off the reservation, baby, because this chalk is killing me this week, chill.
I mean, from an offensive line standpoint, not to go back to quarterback, but it's also why I want to play Pat Mahomes, because New England's pass rush, they have no edge rushers, and their pass rush all comes from the middle, and the Chiefs have the 2 best guards in the NFL. So that man's going to have a lot of time to throw tomorrow. But again, I digress. We'll go back and forth with that, even off air and tomorrow.
For sure. We'll definitely get into it. So yeah, we can slide over to wide receiver real quick because I don't think there's any other running backs I want to even think about.
Listen, Derrick Henry always destroys the Texans. His last 5 games, those stats are undeniable. They're playing at home. They're playing Case Keenum. If you want to sell yourself on the idea of playing Derrick Henry,
Case Keenum. What did Davis Mills do to them? What did he do to deserve this? He got them CJ Stroud. Why would they be mad at him? I don't understand.
So,
whatever.
I mean,
I do like the idea of
Derrick Henry in his last 5 games against Houston, he's almost averaging 180 yards on the ground. It's something just nutty.
I feel you.
But I mean, I would probably feel more confident about that than my Dolphins take, but I'm just going to toss that out there as well.
Wide receiver wise, we're looking at a lot of Green Bay guys and New England guys and Giants guys. I know they're cheap. But is this a spot where we have to go to these guys are we only going there to save salary? Is that what it really is? Because I'm not expecting too much upside from this, right?
That's 100% what it is, because like Kyron and CMC's ownership is through the roof. So that means it's with these guys.
All right. I'm fine with it. I guess. I mean, off Wan'Dale Robinson, I would just play Jalen Hyatt. You know, the guy that had over 100 yards receiving last game. I'd rather just do that at less ownership, and he's cheaper.
It makes a lot of sense to me.
Pop Douglas coming off that concussion, like, don't tell me like cash game builds are gonna have 2 Patriots in it. They have like a 12 team total, and I'm about to play 2 guys from the same team. Get the fuck out of here! It ain't gonna happen. If I get buried by Pop Douglas and Ezekiel Elliott, it is what it is. I'll just take my loss. It's fine, but I'm not doing it.
Yeah, dude. First of all, that's not going to happen. Kansas City's defense is really good. That's not going to happen. Like,
and in the same game, Rashid Rice is chalk too.
People want to play. People are going to convince themselves to play Rashid Rice. It's kind of
what are we doing? What are we doing? Is DFS come to this, Chill? I don't think I want to be a part of this world anymore.
Yeah, you do.
I do. But
come on.
The fact that all this ownership is on these guys, like, okay, I can get ownership being on CeeDee Lamb, on Cooper Kupp, on Brandon Ayuk,
what
Puka Nacua.
First of all, what ownership you got on CeeDee Lamb? I only got him at 14.5% on DK.
FanDuel, I got him at 18.
Yeah, to me, that's still pretty low.
you know the lowest one for me that's kind of bothering me, Chill?
What do you got? Hit me with it.
Deebo Samuel.
Right? Oh, it's because everybody wants, because you can't play Kyron, Deebo, and CMC all in one lineup.
It's not the fact you can't do it, because people are still finding a way to play Brandon Ayuk. But like back-to-back weeks, Deebo Samuel has smacked up that slate and no one wants to play him. I don't understand. I'm just going to do it again. I'm going to play him again.
I mean, one guy that I like that's kind of, it's not super high ownership, but like Washington can't stop number 1 wide receivers, and like Puka Nacua's ownership to me is rather low than where I think it should be.
See, the funky thing I want to do this week, and I had a couple practice builds that does it, is that if Matt Stafford's going to be chalky and Kyron Williams is going to be chalky, how about I just don't do the Kyron thing and just run Puka and Kupp?
You can.
Why don't we just do the alpha double? Why not? Is there a world where Matt Stafford goes 350 and 4? It's Washington. It's very feasible in this spot. So
I think
someone's not gonna get there. Kyron and Puka and Cooper and Stafford and Higbee, they all can't get there, Chill.
I think if he goes 350 and 4, that means Kyron got his touchdowns through the air. That's what I think that story would tell me.
I would tell the story that Kyron doesn't get any of it. I would tell the story that Kyron is 100 yards rushing, no touchdowns. Puka Nacua 125 and 2, Cooper Kupp 120 and 2, Matt Stafford 350 and 4. If I want to play a lineup uniquely and get some of that suppressed ownership from Puka Nacua, and depress some of the Matt Stafford chalk, why not just bring both of them? Yes, it's expensive. Yes, you're going to have to make a sacrifice with San Francisco players or Buffalo Bills players or Dallas players. But if we're talking about a stat that can put up 90 by themselves, and then you kind of just fill in the rest of your lineup accordingly, that could be a top percentile score, and no one would have it. Like no one's loading up these premium doubles anymore, Chill. We've experimented with this all season. No one does it anymore. There's no Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddles out there. There's no Steph Diggs, Gabe Davis to a lesser extent. There's no guys like that anymore. the premium doubles don't work anymore because no one wants to pay for it. But I think this could be a week where you could just go ahead and pay for it on that side. Same with the Purdy side. So if you go Purdy, Ayuk, and Debo and leave CMC out of it, you're automatically unique.
No, I agree with that 100%. I mean, again, taking a look here, again, like you said, it's not the greatest matchup, but like, does like under 5% Tyreek Hill just scream, "I'm gonna break the slate"?
It screams an opportunity to break the slate. That's what
It's
it does.
just, I mean, like, listen, I get the injury concern, and it's a tough fit. I get it, and obviously you mentioned the injuries on the line. So again, I totally get it, but man, like, interesting. I do want to mention from the Green Bay Tampa Bay game, if you don't want to play Jaden Reed, just go to Romeo Dobbs. Because their other wide receiver, is it Wicks?
Mr. Wick.
He's banged up with an ankle injury, so they're kind of just down to 2 wide receivers, basically.
Yeah,
like,
no Christian Watson tomorrow.
Right. So, like, again, Tampa Bay is a massive pass funnel. We saw Drake London get wet last week with the Riddler. All right. So, again, you don't want to play chalky Jaden Reed. Pay up a couple extra more for Dobbs. Like, don't get crazy.
I agree. I 100% agree. That's one of the best pivots at the receiver spot on the slate, without question. I love Romeo Dobbs tomorrow. Love him.
And
perfect.
Like, as an early only player, if I'm running Green Bay, Tampa Bay, if I'm running a Green Bay stack tomorrow, I kind of went over it in the running back side, but my stack would just be Rachaad White.
Just Rachaad White.
Yep, as the bring back. But again, because like Green Bay struggles against running backs. Again, we saw Saquon. Saquon beat him through the air, got a little bit on the ground there. Rachaad White is just a walking 15 points currently.
He always gets there.
I mean, he always gets there. Like,
always. It's amazing.
The red zone will cut away to the third quarter, and here's this fucking guy getting a 40-yard touchdown pass that was thrown 5 yards from the line of scrimmage. It's like, brother.
Facts. I mean, my run back actually is, while we're on receivers, is Mike Evans. I mean, after the 1-for-8 performance last week, he does not get, the same matchup with AJ Terrell as he did this week, because Jair Alexander is still questionable. But like, Chris Godwin is banged up.
He is.
So like, this offense is going to run through 2 guys, your boy Rachaad White and Mike Evans. So if Baker Mayfield has no one else to throw to minus Cade Otton in crunch time, we could be talking about a bounce back Mike Evans game here, and no one's going to play him. He's already expensive. So as soon as you get to the range where Mike Evans is, you're going to be thinking, well, I can pay a couple hundred more to get to Puka Nacua or Cooper Kupp or Steph Diggs or any of those guys, where Mike Evans, who is elite, who belongs in that tier, could be a flop lag candidate for this week. So if I'm running a Green Bay stack, which, spoiler alert, I am tomorrow, Mike Evans is definitely my guy.
And like, let's not forget one of our favorite narratives on the show. It is the revenge game with D-Hop.
First of all, chill. As I texted you guys, there's a more important revenge game tomorrow, and that is Braxton Berrios versus the Jets. Okay, so if you want to give me straight up points, Nook versus Braxton Berrios with no Tyreek Hill if he sits, I'm taking it.
I mean, you forgot to. I was gonna text you, but I forgot. You forgot to mention the revenge game in the first game today.
The revenge game in the first game.
Yep.
Oh gosh. Who did I miss?
Big Irv.
Oh, big. The Big Irv revenge game. Oh no! How could I forget?
Former Viking legend, Big Irv.
Oh, Big Irv revenge game. That's on me, bro. I apologize. I did miss that. My bad. My bad.
Yeah, I remember that one. I thought that one was pretty funny.
That's a good one.
But I mean, just kind of taking a look here. Obviously, you mentioned Kyler. The Cardinals guys are unowned. Um,
Except for one, but we'll get here. We'll get there in a second.
um, is Tutu Atwell out?
I haven't seen any updates yet about
Okay,
Tutu.
because like Demarcus Robinson is kind of gonna be chalky. That could be some weird chalk.
Yo, bleep the cheap stuff. Just bring on Puka and Cooper in the same lineup. The cheap Don't try to get cute. Don't try to bring along a returning Tyler Higbee. Don't try to bring on this Robinson cat. No. Alpha, Puka,
So
Cooper. Do it.
I don't get it. So Josh Allen is one of the chalkiest quarterbacks on the slate, and yet everything that's telling me about ownership projection says nobody's playing Steph Diggs or Gabe Davis. So who the hell is lying? Or
Where's
is
the
everybody
ownership?
playing? Or is everybody playing Dalton Kincaid?
I was like, where's the ownership on Dalton Kincaid? That's your real answer.
We'll get to that in a second. But like these Bills guys, like I have Steph Diggs on DK, five. I'll say 5%. Gabe Davis, 3.5%.
Chill. The Rams rant stays the same for the Bills. Alpha. Do it. Gabe Davis, Steph Diggs, running with Josh Allen. Book it. Do it.
Yeah, it's just kind of.
Brock Purdy, Debo, Brandon Ayuk. Do it. That's how we rolling tomorrow, Chill. That's how we rolling.
Yeah, it's just so weird. It's just kind of mind-blowing, truthfully.
Rondell, Dortch. Same stratosphere, right? Do it.
Wild.
Hey, man, it's the proper show for being wild. Is what we do. So.
See, there's some ownership. I see some ownership on Dalton Kincaid.
We found it. So is that the good segue to the tight end position, sir?
Yeah, it could definitely be the segue. I'm looking up DraftKings now.
So obviously
he is way. His ownership on FanDuel high. His ownership on DraftKings low.
Oh, he's cheap on FanDuel. Cheap. 5,600, brother. Cheap. Right.
Yeah, so for FanDuel ownership, I have McBride, Tucker Kraft, Jake the Snake, Dalton Kincaid, and Kelsey.
What about our boy Chig?
On FanDuel, he's only 6.6%. Now, if you go to DraftKings, now if you go to DraftKings, he's the chalk.
Ridiculous.
On DraftKings, it goes Chig, McBride, Tucker, Kraft, and then from there it dropped off pretty significantly to David Njoku at 8%.
What about old Gronk dog? Oh, Tyler Gronklin.
On DraftKings, 5%.
Hey, listen, chill. If you want 4 catches for 40 yards, Tyler Conklin's got you, cuz.
I mean, he does have the AFC Player of the Week.
Who's throwing him the ball? It's right there. It's written on the walls. I'm just saying. You know who came off IR today?
I don't know.
Darren Waller.
Dude, did he really?
He's back.
Is he playing?
Well, I mean, they wouldn't pull him off IR if he wasn't going to play. So I'm as of a Saturday night take, I'm expecting him to play. So could be interesting. I mean, he's cheap. Tommy DeVito might have a new toy. I'm just saying.
He is cheap. I mean, that one I would have to kind of do some research for because.
I mean, 5,500 here on FanDuel against New Orleans. Terrible against the tight end position. I mean, come on, bro.
Yeah,
you might have to take a stab.
On DraftKings, he's coming in at less than 1%. He's 4,400.
You might have to take a stab, bro. I'm just saying.
I mean,
I'm doing it.
If I play Tommy DeVito, it just makes my stacking partner
easier. Yeah. Run you a cheap Tommy DeVito with a no-own Darren Waller and a pivot of Jalen Hyatt.
And then
just load up. You can load up.
And just watch the Giants score 13 points.
In a win.
Bro. Dude, you ain't lying.
in a win, Chill.
You ain't lying.
But I mean, for the chalkier tight ends, I kind of don't mind pretty much any of these plays. I mean, like you said, with Wicks being hurt, no Christian Watson, obviously he's going to have to dump it off to somebody. Tucker Kraft could be in the market to be a part of that target share. And at that cheap price, like, what do you need from him? I get it. People are going to find a way to still play up to Travis Kelce only because of his namesake. But like, which I'm not, but if I'm Bill Belichick, guess who ain't going to beat me? You got one dude to follow around this entire game. I don't care if you got a triple team this man. I will not let the Kansas City Chiefs have me beat because of Travis Kelce. So I think he is completely irrelevant for me on this slate. Again, if I get destroyed by him, that's okay. But like, I can't A, pay the salary for it, and B, the Chiefs only have one weapon, and it's that guy. So it's like I'm hot on Travis Kelce. Yeah, that's an easy fade for me. I like Dalton Kincaid, but at the same time, like, I would rather just play James Cook. Again, if someone's got to get these dump offs, these short routes, these intermediate routes, and if Dalton Kincaid is somehow bottled up by this Dallas defense, I think that James Cook is going to be the benefactor, not Dalton Kincaid. So I don't think I like that chalk. I would rather play the alphas. I'd rather play Steph. I'd rather play Gabe Davis. And again, you know what happens, Chill. You know what happens every time Gabe Davis gives you a 0. 20 points is coming.
It's coming at some point.
Yeah. So, I mean, why not do that instead of playing the chalky Dalton Kincaid? And the other one, chalky, I'll agree with is Trey McBride. I mean, the dude is inevitable. So I'm just.
Yeah, Trey McBride's fine.
Yeah, I'm just going to play him. 49ers matchup or not, I'm going to play Trey McBride.
I mean, listen, even on DraftKings, if you just want to play Chig or Tucker Kraft, that's fine. It's fine.
I'd rather just play Tucker Kraft. I would erase Chig.
That's totally fine as well.
Because remember, Chill, if we're playing Titans, you know which Titan we're playing.
Listen, man, I might consider a Titans lineup for one of my early onlys.
Yeah, and it should have 2 Titans in it. Derrick Henry and the Titans defense.
All right, I'll put them all. I'll just stack the Titans.
In the lineup. I mean, you can play Nook in the revenge game. I like the matchup. I don't like the ownership per se, but obviously you have to build lineups that do have chalk in it. Like, I'm not fading Kyron Williams. I'm not fading CMC. I am fading Ezekiel Elliott. But other than that, like, you got to sprinkle in some chalk. I get it. But like at the tight end position, it's probably going to be all the way down to Tucker Kraft or mid-range if I'm going all the way up. Not all the way up to like George Kittle, Travis Kelce area, but like it would stop at Trey McBride. So those are the ones I'm kind of cool with playing. And like I said, if you want to get frisky, I do like Darren Waller if he plays. So
yeah, that one will be like, what did the report say type of thing.
Mm-hmm. So if you hear Darren Waller is full go, you gonna sprinkle him in?
I may. I like
reports come out in New York. It says Darren Waller coming off IR should be full go. Will start today. You gonna load him up? Because I'll do it.
I think I may. I think I may. It depends. I mean, because like it makes playing Tommy DeVito a lot easier. Yeah, I think truthfully.
I agree, 100%, 100%. Anybody else you need to take note of before you slide over to defense?
I don't think so.
So defense-wise, just like I kind of mentioned earlier, with your Dolphins offensive line being absolutely eviscerated, the Jets, they're the second lowest price defense, I think, right? Second or third on DK?
Moment.
They should be the chalk. They're not.
I mean, they're pretty close to the chalk. So the 2 defenses on DK that are leading the way are the Rams, Browns, Jets, Dolphins. Those are all 10% and up.
Yo, on FanDuel, it's the Panthers, the Dolphins, the Browns, the Saints, the Falcons, Giants, which I get.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing here for FanDuel as well. Panthers,
but $3,600 for the Jets kind of seems pretty sexy.
I don't mind that at all.
But I mean, FanDuel, they're lower owned than DK. So DK, I kind of get why they would have more ownership because A, they're affordable, and like I said, they're playing the Dolphins. I get it on the road, but like I said, I think a lot of sharper players will realize that they do have injuries along that offensive line, so they could be under constant duress this entire game. And like I said, we don't know the reports for Tyreek Hill yet, so it could be a situation where they could be down basically the league MVP and expect to try to keep up with the Jets, like defensively. There could be a lot of sacks, could be a lot of not a lot, but could be opportunities for sacks, strip fumbles, pick sixes, etc. So, and I get why the Dolphins defense is high owned on FanDuel because it's Zach Wilson. So, I mean, that's like end of analysis. It's Zach Wilson.
Yeah, I mean, there's not too much.
Player of the week.
Again, there's not too much more I need to add for defense. There's not like one stone cold lock defense of the week. So pretty much just kind of play with, for me, whatever fits, that's who's going in, regardless of matchup. I don't care.
I respect that 100%. 100% respect that. Like I said, I don't like forcing defenses either. So I'm with you. Like I might end up on some Patriots defense. If I like the build of my team and I got $3,300 left on FanDuel, to a lesser extent, like $2,600 left on DraftKings, guess what? I'm playing the Patriots defense. Oh, well.
It's fine.
It's defense.
It's fine. It's totally
fine. And like I said, Carolina and Atlanta should be in a game script that doesn't constitute passing because it should be shitty weather there. So I don't even know if I want a part of either of those defenses unless you're like looking for a shutout. But that's not really how defensives score all their points. It's by pick sixes, fumbles, special teams returns. Like, I think the Panthers defense is probably the easiest fade for me.
I agree.
So, like I said, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button because that's the most important part of the algorithm on the podcast and YouTube streets. And of course, before we go, change it up from Wednesday, chill. Bold call, fantasy, DFS, yearly, daily, don't matter. Give me something bold, man.
So before we get to the bold call, we have to address the fat chick in the room.
Oh gosh, yeah, we haven't recorded a Saturday show in 5 minutes.
So this is a very unique bar we're walking into. We see a couple of fat chicks, couple of them. Now again, these fat chicks, these two they're still great. They're still great. They're, you could say maybe one fat chick is kind of leaving her prime. The other one is in the prime. This other fat chick, now she's dating a really good looking girl. This girl's pretty famous across the world. But these two fat chicks are they're here. Nobody wants to touch them. These fat chicks have been highly successful. Your fat chick stag of the week was Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce. This may be the only time you see two Hall of Fame fat chicks. Two, when it's all said and done, two top five at their position, fat chicks alone, waiting for you to give that ass a pounding at the end of the night.
Ain't no fucking way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Listen, chill. I don't want to steal your bit because I'm not. I'm definitely not going to steal your bit because I'm not that type of guy. But if I were banging somebody tomorrow, I'm gonna have a little menage a trois if you don't mind. And they both reside in Buffalo. They play two different positions, but I'm gonna get them in about 5 different positions tomorrow night. I'm taking home Gabe Davis and James Cook tomorrow. I want that ass in my bed.
And again, that's fine. That's totally fine.
I'm gonna tell you the stack right now, chill. I'm gonna tell you the stack. You ready for it? You ready for this game stack that I'm gonna hit y'all with? That I'm gonna hit you with, the viewer. That I'm gonna hit y'all with, the listener. You run Dak as the pivot to Josh Allen. You run CeeDee Lamb because he's fucking CeeDee Lamb, and instead of Steph Diggs, even though I think it's still gonna be a Steph Diggs week, but in this particular build because it's expensive, you bring along James Cook. You bring along Gabe Davis. You bring along Jake the Snake. Boom. 5-man stack, highest total on the board. that's the game stack that you want to target if you're going to build a lineup like that. I like those plays. And with the cheaper Bills pieces, and to a lesser extent with Jake the Snake, guys like that, you can sprinkle them in your Stafford doubles. Because load up the alpha tomorrow. You can stack them up. You can add them to your Brock Purdy doubles. You know what I'm saying? Load them up. You can add them to stacks like that. And again, if I'm offering any advice, please, for the love of God, don't play Sam Howell. If Sam Howell goes 350-4, fine, I lost. I don't care. If Zeke goes for 102, fine, I lost. I don't care. But I'll be damned if I'm playing these guys the highest owned running back is Zeke. No. Can't do it. No. Sorry, I'm getting mad. I'm getting mad at the end of the show. Sorry. But thank you for the fat chick at the bar. Give me something bold.
Yeah, let's go bold. Let's see what we got here. We already did a Chiefs bold call on the Wednesday show. Let's try to get bold here. Let's try to get bold.
We got to give him something to stew on. While you're thinking about that, I'm going to hit you with mine. You ready? Are you ready? You fucking ready. Kyler Murray, top 3 quarterback tomorrow.
Nice.
Last week, I gave you the Riddler. This week, I'm giving you Kyler. Top 3 quarterback tomorrow. Add him to your San Francisco stacks. Do it.
I mean, this doesn't seem like a bold take, but technically it is. Dak Prescott's going to be the highest scoring QB on the slate.
Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, James Snake, running back with James Cook, Dave Davis. You won a tournament. You're welcome. We got it. The math problem is solved for everybody. Chill. It's done. This has been a successful episode of the Contrarian Show of the DFS Deli. As always, we're going to wish you all the best of luck in your tournament brackets today. And of course, we're going to close up the shop. And as always, we'll see you all at the top. Thanks for listening. Good luck this week. Peace.